Jamel Crothers. It's the 2008 NBA playoffs. Eastern Conference Finals game was last night between Boston and Detroit, Game 5. Let's get into the discussion and let's talk about this game from last night. Now, let's start with Detroit. Detroit, they came out, they played well, but you know what? Their role players really didn't step up last night. But Rasheed Wallace, he had 18 points, but all of his points came on 3-point shots. He only had 4 rebounds. That's not good, but I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Rip Hamilton, he comes out, has 25 points and 6 assists. That's pretty good, normal numbers for him. Chauncey Billups has a breakout game last night. Great game, 26 points, 6 assists. Off the bench, Rodney Stuckey still comes through, averaging 10 off the bench in this series. Comes out, has 13 points. He has a good productive game and hit a clutch 3-point shot down the stretch to keep that game tight. Now, Boston's big three. They all stepped up last night. Paul Pierce, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Garnett goes for 33 points, 7 rebounds. Ray Allen busts out, has a good game, 29 points, hits 5 3-pointers. I honestly think that this was Ray Allen's best game in the playoffs so far. He looked good, he looked in sync, he got a couple of shots in transition. He was able to get himself into the flow of the offense. And he did say, I'm not in a slump, it's just I have to get into that flow and be in a rhythm. And that's what it's about. Great night for you, Ray Allen. But here is my guy for the night, Kendrick Perkins. I love the way he came out last night. He came out with fire and intensity. He came and he was ready to play. He made jump shots, he grabbed rebounds, he got easy layups, he got dunks. He was all over the floor last night. He dominated Detroit. 18 points, 16 rebounds, 2 blocks. That is a great night for Kendrick Perkins. And without Kendrick Perkins, I honestly don't think Boston would have been able to win that game last night. He brought it to Detroit last night, and I respect him for that. Rajon Rondo, he got outplayed by Chauncey Billups as far as point production, and I did say throughout this series that whoever does have outscores who in the series within the point guards, the team will win. Well, I was wrong, but for the first time last night, Rajon Rondo was not good production-wise as far as points, but he dished out 13 assists. He was able to keep Boston's offense running and flowing throughout the game. He did not slow the ball up after Detroit would score a basket, and he did run out and try to get Boston some easy transition baskets and make Detroit falter down on defense. Now, my key and main point of this game last night, and I'm going to emphasize it because this is going to have to be a big adjustment for Detroit. Rebounding. Rebounding, Boston dominated last night, and I mean dominated. 42 rebounds to Detroit's 25. This is where I'm talking about Rasheed Wallace having 4 rebounds. That is not good at all. Rasheed Wallace needs to rebound more, and he needs to get under the basket and score some layups. If all your field goals are from the 3-point line, you're not helping Detroit and helping them being a low post presence. Now, my final thoughts. Detroit, what they have to do is pretty much come out and win. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. They have to go home in front of their crowd. They have to win. Role players have to step up. Antonio McDyess, you can't foul out. Tayshaun Prince, you have to get easier baskets, get back out in transition. Chauncey, you still have to bring your game, and I think you have to dish the ball out a little bit more. Rip Hamilton, he's been the best player for Detroit in this series. Rasheed Wallace, stop being a baby. Be a man. Go out there, get down a post, bang KG, do what you have to do because KG's been busting your butt all series long. There's no question about it. I'm quite sure everyone would agree with me on that. Rasheed Wallace, you can go and have your little expletives on the radio and on your TV interviews after the end of the games. That's not going to help you. That's just going to get you a fine. It's not going to pump up your team either. You're distracting your team right now. So you know what? You need to go out there and really play basketball tomorrow. There's just nothing more that needs to be said about it. Detroit, you have to play defense. Don't give up 106 points tomorrow because you're going to lose if you give up 106 points. That's my report on Boston and Detroit. I'm Jamel Crothers.